Well, Kellie Carter-Jackson is an assistant professor of the humanities in the Department of Africana Studies at Wellesley College. She joins us live now via Skype from Boston. So, as we were hearing there, tension was already high in the area as the murder trial of Derek Chauvin continues. Now comes this yet another fatal shooting. How would you describe people's reaction? How are they going to deal with this at this particular point in time?
I mean, I think people are enraged. Less than a year later, it feels like they're in the same place they were when George Floyd died. People are angry. People are grieved. People are not surprised in some ways that this is becoming a common occurrence. I would love to be able to say that we're shocked by some of the things that we've seen, but we've seen that this is a pattern over and over again all across America in every city, that these police shootings are becoming so common. In some instances, we're having shootings at least once a week.
What do you make of the remarks we've heard from Brooklyn Center's police chief that the officer involved accidentally fired her gun? What were your initial thoughts when you heard that?
I mean, I was frustrated because in a lot of ways, it's not good enough. It's just not good enough. We see time and time again how police's inability to be transparent, to be accountable, to follow the policies of the police department, to not have these accidents or so-called accidents take place, keep happening. And so I think the public is going to demand more. They're going to want and need more transparency and accountability. And I'm looking forward to an investigation. I think an investigation is completely necessary, but we have to know more in this instance. And I think calling it an accident is just not sufficient.
What did you make of the testimony we've heard today in the Derek Chauvin trial? We heard some very powerful emotional testimony earlier from the brother of George Floyd.
Yeah, it's really heartbreaking. It's moving. It's emotional. It's hard to listen to. So much of what his brother said was just about trying to bring humanity to his brother, to see him as someone who was beloved, as someone who took care of people in the community, who, had a sense of humor, looked out for others, cared about people. I really appreciated all that was said and done to just get us to see George Floyd as a person, as a brother, as a friend, and as someone who deserved life.
Why is that so important, given what you've said about the need for reform, the lack of change, the fact that the same thing keeps happening again and again? Why is it so important for the jury to hear these accounts of George Floyd's life and to see something as simple as a photograph of George Floyd with his mother?
Yeah, I think it's important because so much of Black identity and culture has been stigmatized by criminality, that Black people are seen as criminals before they've even committed crimes. And I think that in order to reclaim some of Black humanity and who George Floyd was as a person, we have to tell these stories. We have to let people know that he was a son, that he loved his mother, that he was someone that people cared about, so that the jury will care as well. It's so important that these stories get humanized and that we make sure that we don't sort of take out the human element in this trial.
Thank you very much, Kellie Carter. Appreciate it. Kellie Carter-Jackson, I should say. Thanks very much.
Thank you.